Good evening, class. I'm here to talk about my proposal for developing a standard for monthly and weekly scheduling in my organization. I'm going to talk mainly about how I approach my supervisors and also about my multimodal communication that I think is going to be the primary use for this project. I'm also going to talk about my deliverables and a timeline. So the multimodal communication, I think that's going to be most well used in this situation is just going to be mainly text and written. So it's going to essentially be Excel documents and emails sent to the workforce to collect their data for the upcoming months, and mainly just to get a good schedule built off of the flexibility and free time of our workforce all in all. So before I even really started this, I had talked to numerous members of my organization to find out what needed to be done, because there was definitely a void that needed to be filled before even moving forward and thinking about what types of programs we needed to work and build. So I approached my two, we'll call them group supervisors inside the group as a whole, and they were completely on board. They agreed with me and kind of just wanted somebody to take the reins on the project and put the time and effort that it needed to be put into it. It's not a very hard project, I don't think. I think there may be a learning curve with some of the older members of the organization doing things, the same way 20 years in a row, to all of a sudden now just changing it. So it's going to be pretty. There may be a learning curve there, and that's just something that with change as an organizational leadership major, that you have to implement some sort of change to get a result that you want. And the result essentially is just to have better scheduling and more conflict-free weeks and days, just to relieve the stress. So to get this done, I have 4 deliverables, and the first one's going to be like sort of an availability request that will be sent from our scheduling office, and we're just going to throw some dates out there. I'm thinking it's going to start on December 8th, 2017. So that's when that first document will be sent out, and roughly be given about 2 weeks for the members to fill out this calendar style availability, just saying when they're available and what days work best to schedule a training for them. So these will normally be due back about the 20th, mainly for two full weeks from when it's sent out from us. After that, the scheduling office can build the second deliverable, which we're going to call the monthly. And the monthly will be sent out, hopefully stick to this strict schedule and this timeline, the Wednesday before the next month starts. So that should give people, almost a full week to look over the schedule, review it, see what flights or training events they have, and fix them. Reach out to the schedulers before the weekly comes out, and the weekly schedule will be the third deliverable. And we're pretty much going to say that will come out no later than 3 p.m. on the Friday before the week. I think that's pretty generous time for people to see, get the monthly, have almost a week to look over it. If they have a scheduling issue in the first week, then come to the schedulers and fix that before it comes to the daily schedule, which is the 4th of my 4 deliverables, and that will be sent out the day before the next. It'll be sent out on a Monday for the Tuesday flight events and training events. And at this point, if scheduling conflicts haven't been solved up until the daily, then it's it's pretty much set in stone, and the member needs to be there to make that flight or that training event. And we do understand that, life happens, and if there is an emergency situation, then we'll deal with it accordingly. But um, when it gets to the availability is just a request, and then the monthly is, it's a plan. It's not firm at all. And then the weekly schedule is a definite. Okay, this is a firm schedule, so you need to review that schedule and have a good plan in place. And when it comes to the daily schedule, you must be there for that training event. And if you're not, you should have a solid excuse for that, or reasoning. And my supervisors agree with that, and they're on board, and they think it's a good process. And excited to move forward and see what happens. Thanks.